video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network Video Game Show for Sunday, November 29th, 2009. This is episode 170. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, a question from Ivan. Ivan, what's your question?
If you had, say, 24 hours or a day to do absolutely nothing, you had no work, you had nothing to do, you broke your legs, you're housebound, or the newest expansion or game came out, how long would you play video games?
Well, wait, which is it? Do we have 24 hours or one day?
Are you retarded?
Well, Captain Math.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that.
And you have a bachelor's in what?
I know, I'm being stupid. Okay, carry on.
Well, you're doing a very good job.
It's intentional, of course.
You know, dude, with you, it's hard to tell.
Good cover. Good cover.
Here's the scenario. It's Friday and you don't have to go to work, and obviously next day's Saturday, and if you're not Bob, you don't have to work on Saturday, so you have all day to do absolutely nothing. You don't have to worry about going to bed early to get up the next day. How long would you sit down and play video games? And what would you play currently?
Very good. And joining us today is, well, since it's your question, Ivan, what's your answer?
Assuming I had 24 hours, and I've done that before where I've taken like a Friday off, gotten up at like 9 o'clock and have played World of Warcraft or Borderlands or something like that for like 19 hours. So 90% of my day I've sat down and have played video games in a 24-hour period.
And also joining us is Phil.
I've done that also where, take off a day from work or whatever, or a Saturday where you've got nothing to do. So, I don't know, usually get up around 8 or 9 and start playing at like 10 and go till about 2 in the morning. So, about 16 plus hours. It probably would be something like Diablo 2 in the past, or World of Warcraft, or Borderlands is a good one.
Also joining us is Keith.
Yeah, I too have done that with Baldur's Gate 2. I rocked that for, I want to say, like good 30 hours straight, because I woke up in the morning, started playing, people came home, went to bed, got up, they went back to class. I just kept playing. Now, I don't even think I could stay awake for 30 hours. But if I were to do that now, I would say it would probably be, maybe 15 hours I'd probably make it. And I'd probably do something that like, Borderlands or something along those lines. But the game I actually did that with on multiple occasions was Baldur's Gate 2.
30.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
It was in college, man. I mean, I've had things where I sat in a chair for a day, pissed in a bowl, and I won money. Because they said, I bet you couldn't sit in this chair all day. And I said, oh yeah, watch me. And I did.
You showed them, Keith.
I showed them, and I peed in a bowl.
That's one of those bad bets. It's like putting a whole chicken in front of Bob and saying, I bet you can't eat this whole thing. That's just, that's a bet you're going to lose.
You know who else is very fun for bad bets is my little brother and Ed.
Oh, God, they'll do anything for a nickel.
Exactly. I mean, and you could have $5 in your pocket and you'll be entertained for 24 hours. I mean, I bet you can't swallow this mouthful of powdered Gatorade with just in one gulp. Oh, look at him choke.
Sounds like it runs in the family. Bet you can't swallow this cheese ball without chewing it.
Yeah, with the Palladino clan is susceptible to bets. It's a weakness.
I bet you can't fit a whole bag of M&Ms in your mouth.
I was up over 50 before I laughed.
No, it was more like a machine gun, I think.
Yeah, it was. And there was little chocolate goo everywhere.
And finally, joining us is Bob.
I'd probably play video games for about 2 hours, and then I'd go eat. And then I'd play for about an hour and a half, and then I'd go eat. Then I'd probably play for about 2 hours, and then I'd go eat. After that, I'd probably get sick of going back to the computer, and I would probably do something else. Probably something un-video screen related. I don't know. I don't got a high enough tolerance for that anymore. So probably in a 24-hour period, maybe half, 10, 12, maybe. Over vacation, I mean, I had a couple days where I had absolutely nothing to do, and I started doing origami again. because I used to do it when I was a little kid, and I just needed something that you didn't have to plug in. So, yeah, I did that, and I played some guitar. And, yeah, so probably about 10 or 12.
Work broke video games.
Yeah.
Just sick of a computer screen.
I just get to a point where I don't even want to look at it anymore. I was surprised I played Left 4 Dead so late last night.
I was surprised you played Left 4 Dead so late last night.
I haven't played video games that late I don't even know, since college, I don't think.
I know. We finished a map, and I'm like, okay, everyone's going to quit now, and I don't want to quit because I still feel like playing. And then Bob was like, want to do another one? And I'm like, yay!
Well, I don't have time much to play anymore. Let's see. Back in the old days, when did Counter-Strike could be, play from 9 at night till about 5 in the morning. So what is that? 8 hours, 9 hours. Nowadays, it's pretty much just 2 or 3 hours at night. Maybe, that's too much. 2 hours at max every other night. Something like that. Torchlight, that kind of stuff.
Hooray for the real world and not having time to do things anymore.
This week on the GamerCast Network. The post-game report crew is still recovering from a tryptophan overdose. Instead of the regular banter, enjoy a roundtable discussion about Borderlands. Doc, Dave, and Lana are back to discuss Modern Warfare 2, Assassin's Creed 2, and the Extra Life Total in Sarcastic Gamer episode 92. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Okay, so moving on. Would anyone like to talk about Left 4 Dead 2 this week, since people have been playing it and enjoying it on the PC?
Indeed.
I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I was gonna, and a lot more than I did when I first played.
But see, it's not just an expansion, which was the fear, and I was all right with that because it's not just an expansion.
It feels very familiar, but yeah, they just made the original better.
Yeah, but that's what I want out of a sequel. So I mean,
Well, I agree. It's not completely different. It's the difference between Diablo and Diablo 2. You still basically the same gameplay, but with lots of enhancements.
I thought the game looked a little bit better. Personally, I think the models look a little more complete. They're pretty solid.
Well, the cool thing they do now with the zombies is that it's a lot gorier. You shoot a zombie point blank with a shotgun in the torso, and it blows a hole through him, and you can actually see through the zombie, like behind it.
That's another thing I noticed too, yeah. And this blood will actually appear to splash onto you, so you'd see blood splattering on the screen, and it looks like it's dripping down.
That and the guts are very
gutsy.
Yeah, they're very slimy and sticky looking. If you look down at a zombie laying on the ground with its guts hanging out all over, it's very realistic how shiny the bloody gutty parts are.
And do you like now how the end game scenarios are different? They're more objective based or movement based?
Well, they're a lot more complicated now. Left 4 Dead 1, the end thing was just jiggle this thingy and get ready for a lot of hordes to come at you and at least one tank. Now there's a lot more setup, especially like in the swamp level with the house. Everyone's got to get all their stuff all together. You got to find your different places in the house to set up. And again, it's the same kind of ending scenario as the first game, but there's more to it.
I do not like the go get the gas one. I kind of do because they really did a lot with the environment and stuff, but I just find it tedious. You don't really get to sit and enjoy the shooting of zombies because you're being rushed the entire time.
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky too.
And everyone's enjoying the melee weapons now?
They should have had melee weapons in the first one.
Yeah, again, it's not completely fleshed out, kind of. I mean, you can either have a pistol or a melee weapon. And if you've got a melee weapon and you get knocked down, mysteriously out of nowhere, you pull out a pistol.
Yeah, and you accidentally shoot the tank twice, and then you don't get credit for using a baseball bat the whole campaign.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weak?
First of all, it's cheap that happens, but second of all, it's like they didn't figure out what to do if you got knocked down, so they just went back to the original, which is you have a pistol that you can shoot.
You should just be punching them, just punch them in the ankles. Get off of the zombie, punch.
I mean, if you're down, though, I don't see any reason why you can't just use any weapon that you have. So if you've got a shotgun and you're knocked down on the ground, why can't you continue to use a shotgun?
Yeah, just with a delayed, how everything slows down.
Right. But the melee weapons they are a lot of fun. Especially when Bob insists on going through an entire level only using the baseball bat, and you get hit by a smoker, and he's halfway across the board, and instead of shooting it, he's got to run all the way across to smack it with a baseball bat.
That's a hell of a baseball bat that it doesn't break.
It is one hell. It is pure American hickory is what that is. That is a Louisville original.
Yeah, no cork in that bat.
No way.
What would have been cool is if they had an aluminum bat.
And then you get that ping.
Yeah, like when you hit something with a frying pan, it makes that thunk sound.
Pong.
Yeah, that would have been cool, an aluminum baseball bat. We figured out that there's actually useful things for the bomb weapon slot. Originally, it was like Molotovs and...
Oh no, dude! It's fun to throw like the bile at the tank and to watch all the zombies attack the tank. And
You know what doesn't work though? Throwing the bile at the witch. Ask me how I know.
how do you know?
Yeah, that doesn't do much except piss her off.
See, now that's stupid. Don't even put it in there if you're not going to have it work universally.
The witch is another thing where the only thing they changed was instead of her being stationary the whole time, she'll walk around. But it's the same thing. It's like if you walk up behind her, startle her, and shoot her twice in the back of the head with a shotgun, you kill her. But if you startle her and shoot her 10 times in the face with a assault rifle, or the combat rifle, where I've actually killed 2 zombies with 1 bullet because it goes, straight through them. That's how powerful this thing is. But you shoot the witch 10 times in the head with that thing and it won't kill her. She'll still knock you down.
I just like how you got to startle her first. Like, she's like, hey, woman, what? Oh, now I can shoot you.
Yeah, because you can't sneak up on her and shoot her. That doesn't work.
Or see her sitting in the lawn and hit her with a grenade, because that doesn't work either.
Yeah. It's funny to watch, though.
Bob, how would you know?
I like compiling a list of things I know. Just don't ask how.
Yeah, I don't understand why the grenade doesn't blow her away, but...
Well, I mean, that kind of would make the witch less frightening.
Well, it's not like you always have the grenade launcher. They're kind of hard to come by.
Unless you're Bob and carry it around with you all the time.
Right, and never ever put it down because all you use is a baseball bat and the grenade launcher when it's funny.
I'll get the jockey!
Yeah, I think he did that to me. Might have been a jockey. He had the grenade launcher, and yeah, he tried to, he shot the jockey off of me, but used the grenade launcher, which also did like 50 points of damage to me.
He stops, looks at me, and goes, "Seriously, dude? I think I'd prefer if you didn't help."
Stop helping! Stop helping! Oh.
I did say I'd prefer you didn't help me next time.
It was so funny because character just stopped, turned, looked at me. Seriously?
The special ammo they have is a nice little addition to the incendiary bullets or the explosive bullets. Those are kind of fun.
But again, I don't get why it has to be in your medical slot.
Yeah, there's something else Bob did to me. I picked up a case of incendiary ammo.
Oh, and he yoinked your med kit?
That was the only thing that was unintentional. I totally did not mean to do that.
And and I know he wasn't talking to me when he said it, but he's like, dude, I'm totally going to gank your med kit. And he picked it up, and I'm like, what the dude? Right after that, I realized he was talking to, there was only 3 of us, so he was talking to the computer controlled guy because he thought he's the one who dropped it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, I can't believe you just did that. You told me you were going to steal my med kit, and I thought you were joking, but then you totally picked it up. And you can't give a med kit to somebody. You can heal them, but you can't, give it to them. So I'm like, I can't believe you just did that.
Yeah, that would have been a totally dick move had I done it intentionally. And not in the funny way that I normally do things.
I was playing single player today, and I was doing the hotel map. The part that pissed me off the most was it seems like in the first one, the NPCs would actually lead you in some places, where in this one they kind of just wait back.
Well, that is a problem in this one, is there's a lot of times where you have no idea where you're supposed to be going.
Right, so like the part where I go to pick up the cola, and then I'm standing there, I'm like, okay, go ahead of me, because I really don't have a weapon, so go ahead of me and start clearing them out. But no, there's hordes coming out, and they're just waiting behind me.
They're just going to look at you.
Like a stupid dog.
Yeah, I'm swinging up the stupid case of cola at zombies, and I'm just like, alright, I'm getting destroyed here. This doesn't make any sense. So that's kind of one gripe.
There's a couple things there. One is that this is still not a great single-player game for that reason, because that's one of those ones where it's impossible to actually do by yourself. The other one is that there's been a couple times where we've just run around in circles going, I have no idea where we're supposed to be going, and that hotel was one of them.
Yeah, we spent a good time just running around that place.
I mean, remember we ran all the way back. There's that huge billboard with the you can climb all the way up the tower to the billboard. We were like, oh, this must be the way, and then we eventually wound up right back at the very beginning of the map.
But the sad part was we said this must be the way like 6 times and kept going back to the same place. I also got to say it's not that bad for the 360 because I was playing that with Brian. He got it on, what was that, GameFly or whatever, and we were playing. It's no mouse and keyboard, but it's all right because they have a bumper be like a 180 spin, which is really the biggest thing with trying to turn. When there's zombies hitting you in the back, you just press the bumper button and it spins you around. But it's same game. It's just, worse controls.
I think that's my final gripe is that it's got some of the same issues the first one did. I'll be playing for an hour and a half straight with no problems, and then all of a sudden I start getting the looping audio and the skipping video, and it's unplayable. And the only way for me to I can't even shut down the game and restart it. I have to hard reset my computer.
So, is it worth $50?
Yes.
No, I'd say it's worth the $37.49 or whatever they charged on the special deal day.
If you don't own Left 4 Dead 1, it's worth it.
Next topic.
Okay, now, let us do the voicemail we didn't do last week. So let me go hit this one real quick. 2 weeks ago, actually.
Oh, is this the one where you had technical difficulties?
Yes, I fixed those technical difficulties. I will be right back. Hang on.
Are we supposed to be hearing anything? I don't hear anything.
You fixed the technical difficulties, huh?
Way to fix it, dumbass. Worthless waste of life.
Fine, we'll go to normal mail. I had that.
This poor bastard's mail doesn't come through again.
Welcome to Bittertown, Chad. Hope you enjoy your stay.
We've been saving a seat for you. We knew you'd come.
They all come.
Hang on, let me try one thing.
Okay, it's a ham sandwich and shattered dream pie, and I think it's time for a shattered dream pie for Chad.
Okay, hang on. I know the question. I don't. Hang on. Here, Ivan, you played iPod Nano games, correct?
I did. No. Well, regular iPod games.
This guy's question was essentially recommend some iPod Nano games if you could.
All that? And that's all he was asking?
I only bought a couple of them. The only ones that I remember being any fun at all was Peggle, and I don't remember the full name. It was a solitaire game. It had like 10 or 20 different solitaire games in it. It was a big named thing. It was like EA or somebody made it.
Hoyle?
No, it wasn't Hoyle. It was like...
Was it Hoyle?
No, it wasn't Hoyle. It started with an H and rhymed with oil.
Hoyle?
No. No, I'm pretty sure it was like EA. It was just a regular solitaire game. I mean, the only solitaire game I ever played on there was the Pyramid Solitaire, but it was pretty good. But Peggle worked fairly well. Although on a Nano, I don't know. I played on a regular iPod, which has a bigger, wider screen than a Nano. That would be very small for a Nano, playing Peggle.
Okay, there we go. We answered his voicemail without hearing his voicemail. Very good.
We waited 2 weeks for that?
Wow.
Well, it's not just waiting for that. It's also the needing the process back, and I had it working 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I just don't know why it's not working now.
Next topic.
Let's see. Ivan, since you created this whole show notes page based on this one thing from the forum, would you like to respond to this KFTGR's forum post?
Oh, about his mana pet peeve? Yeah.
Nuh-uh, it's mana.
It's mana. M-A-N is man. And then there's an A on the end. Mana.
Yeah, his gripe was that he has a pet peeve and it's pronounced mana, not mana. And he says mana is the magical force, i.e. blue orbs, and manna is the magical food that the Israelites ate during the Exodus. Please repeat manna, manna, manna. So apparently it's pronounced mana, not mana.
I see the difference. Thank you for pointing that out, and we will continue to pronounce it the way you have recommended.
I think it's all in the inflection.
I think he means us to pronounce it mana, not mana.
That's what I said.
No, you said mana. You didn't say mana.
Right. That's what
No,
I
no.
said.
That's
Mana.
exactly.
No. You said mana, not
Right.
mana. No.
No mana.
Right. What are you
It's
complaining
mana.
about?
No.
No,
you're
we're saying the same thing.
Don't make me get my melee weapon.
It's melee, Bob. It's melee.
That's what I said.
when you're playing a game like Baldur's Gate on a console, a video game console, it's mana.
Are you sure it's not supposed to be console?
It's like interpret.
No. This is totally different than No. This is mana, not mana.
Right. Mana. We're saying the same thing. Why don't you? I'm hearing the same thing.
No, you're saying it mana. It's supposed to be mana.
Mana?
No.
Mana?
Mana.
Oh, dude. No. Listen.
What I heard you just say, Chad, is you're supposed to be saying mana. You're saying it mana.
Listen. I figured out the problem with, dude, like this. Mana.
So you're right. That's yes.
No, he's saying it wrong. It's mana.
Mana.
Right. We're saying the
Mana.
same thing.
No, you're saying mana.
Mana.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Mana.
Mana.
Not mana. Mana. See?
Mana is the stuff that the Israelites ate, apparently. Mana is the magical force that it's like, what are those midichlorians?
I mean, mana is the thing from the Muppets skit. Mana.
Yeah.
It's like midichlorians. It's the stuff that binds and holds the universe together. It's a magical force. It's pronounced mana. All right, I think we're done with this.
Mana.
We're gonna make some 15-year-old kid's head explode.
It's gonna be like one of those Modern Warfare videos where he throws his monitor through the wall. Mana! Oh god, mana!
Next topic.
Do you guys want to feel old?
I'm already old.
Here you go. Listen to this. This is from John. Hey, video game.
Hi, John.
Hey, video.
Hi, John.
Hey.
Hi, John.
Hey, video game show crew.
Hi, John.
Hey, Bob. Okay, go on.
Hey, video game show crew. I figured I would give you guys some well-deserved praise. Your podcast is hands down one of the most important landmarks in my week. Helps make the work go by a little faster, blah, 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 blah.
Well played.
But on to the issue. While I was driving a while back, I heard one of you mention the podcast had been going on for 5 years. Well, sitting in traffic, something hit me.
It was a Mack truck, and now I'm paralyzed.
So thank you, VGS crew. I did not want the use of my legs anyway.
Now I can play video games for 24 hours straight.
What would you play? Thanks.
Oh, that was well played. Way to warp that.
This means that since I tuned in at episode 7 of The Old Days show with Chris, that I have spent a quarter of my life with you guys entertaining me.
Haha, you're retarded.
And I doubt he feels that much wiser.
I have to admit that I don't know whether to be thrilled or slightly disturbed.
Disturbed.
Oh, that's definitely disturbed.
How about thrilledly disturbed?
I think I'll err on the side of happy. Thanks for all the years.
You're welcome, John.
But he did have a question, though.
Oh, it always ends with a question, doesn't it? Can't you just f***ing send us something nice?
I feel obliged to ask if you guys have ever tried the red fraction shooters.
The red fraction shooters?
Divide this by 0.
Numbers are for fascists. I go with my gut.
You see what happens when you try to divide by 0, bastard.
Sorry, I copied wrong. The red faction shooters.
Oh, no.
No.
I played the original. Maybe it was PS2. I don't remember.
That's the one where you can blow all the walls away and go anywhere you want.
Yeah, it was a cookie cutter first person shooter. Yeah, you could blow stuff up, but it wound up being stupid. For instance, I remember like there was a wall blocking where you are and where you wanted to go, and so I'm like, well, if you can deform the terrain and do whatever you want. Why can't I just blow a giant hole underneath this wall and crawl under? So I spent like 20 minutes shooting holes underneath this wall, and yeah, the frickin' floor blew up, but it seemed kind of anti-intuitive. There's this wall blocking you from where you want to go, and one of the big selling points of this game was you could blow anything up. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, then why can't I just blow up this wall and walk through it?
I played just the tech demo for that game, and the tech demo was basically a big room where you could walk around and deform however you wanted.
I'd have a second.
Well, I'd have 3.
Not that kind of deformed.
And one would be on the back. Figure that out.
See, I try to impart some wisdoms here and things, and I just get...
We're not mocking you. You just get... Dude, we always bring to the table. That's what we do.
Next topic.
Next piece of mail. From Dylan. What is your opinion on people with video game tattoos? I have currently 6, and have given them a lot of thought, and each of them has important meaning behind them.
Depends. Are you younger than 30 or older than 30? Because if you're older than 30 and still happy with them, they were a good idea.
Well, I think he's older because he's getting married in January to his fiancée, who he turned into a big gamer.
Turn into a gamer or turn into, a big gamer? You know what I'm saying? I mean... like she used to be really tiny and cute. But now I just kept feeding her ho-hos and making her play Final Fantasy with me.
Now she has to wash herself with a rag on a stick.
What Bob said is right. I mean, if you're older and you still are happy with your tattoo, then more power to you.
It really doesn't make a difference whether it's video game related or not. I have the same opinion for regular non-video game tattoos.
If you're a 9-to-5er and you like your tattoos, then they were a good choice. If you're not and you're some high school kid and you think this band is really awesome, guess what? In about 5 years, they ain't gonna be, and you're gonna feel retarded.
Winger is the best!
I'll also say this, if you're younger and planning on doing anything in a professional element, don't get anything on your neck, head, forearms, hands. Get it all in places, unless you just really like long sleeve shirts, because it's not acceptable. I mean, you can't wear that in a professional environment. So just be aware of that when you're getting winger tattooed on your forearm.
Across your forehead.
Getting winger on your forehead.
It's the same thing. Or if you're getting Mario tattooed to your face.
If you want to get the tattoo, fine. Just be aware that unless you're planning on doing something that's not in a professional environment, then
Well, like an office environment. I mean, if you're a construction worker, no one's going to care that you have Mario or Winger tattooed on your forehead.
Exactly, and that's what I mean by I don't mean professional as in an actual like a job. Professional as in like a business environment, something where you're shirt and tie kind of stuff, because it doesn't go over well and will actually hinder you from getting a job. And also, don't post pictures on your Facebook of your mighty bong rip of your 4-foot bong, because that doesn't go over real well with employers either.
Or Olympic officials.
Though girls, keep posting your love them.
Love them. We'll never stop loving them.
Wait. Keep posting? Am I missing a forum somewhere?
I'll link you. Don't worry about it.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 170 for Sunday, November 29th, 2009.
Now, Bob, can you spell that?
P.
Origin is Latin.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Any ham sandwiches, share dream pies, apathy cakes to give out to the world peoples.
Shattered dream pie to the Browns.
It's over. They should just not play the rest of the games and just,
They couldn't do any worse. Ham sandwich to Nintendo, because the DS comes in handy.
Oh, we had a request for a shared dream pie.
Whom and why?
What? Can you do that? This is unprecedented.
This is from Norman Sanzo, who's one of our forum members. His Xbox 360 red ring, and he would like a shared dream pie.
Shattered Xbox pie to you.
Can we give him one?
Sure.
Ham sandwich to Thanksgiving and all the yummy foods.
And as usual, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org. Skype us at videogameshow or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
Stop doing that, Chad.
Q. It's just, I just, okay.
I just.